that he's trying to damage Obama irreparably, but he is a trapped animal. He is fighting for his third term.
But Clyburn says he is.
And he's totally right.
Mr. Clyburn is accusing the Clintons, Bill Clinton in particular, of trying to do a scorched earth strategy that even if Barack does win the nomination and beats Hillary Clinton, he will then lose the general so that the Clintons can come back and win next time.
That has been, my theory all along, that we know that it is a mathematical certainty, assuming the Democrats follow their own rules, that Hillary Clinton cannot get enough elected delegates to be the general nominee. So I keep believing, and I think many people believe, Hillary Clinton is running for president in 2012. How can she run in 2012? By destroying Barack Obama. If Obama is elected president, if he's the nominee and he's elected president, chances are he will be in office for 2 terms, and by 2016 she will be too old to be elected president of the United States.
Why do you think he said this? Jim Clyburn, a long-time neutral in this whole race, very respected in the African-American community, especially in South Carolina and in the Congress. Why would he come out now and blast Bill Clinton and say, you're trying to destroy our guy? Even if he wins the nomination, you still want to kill him.
Well, I think he is expressing the sentiments probably of a lot of African Americans nationwide, regardless of socioeconomic status. These are the rumblings that you are hearing in the African American population. Also, it is 2 weeks before the Indiana and the North Carolina primaries. These are do-or-die primaries for Barack Obama, regardless of the math, simply because of public opinion. People are getting scared. People are feeling, and the African Americans who support his candidacy are feeling sort of deflated by what has happened.
But can I just say that Toni Morrison statement in the New Yorker, more has been made of that. The foundation of that is pretty thin. He was never a black president. He's a fleshy white guy. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not attacking him. I'm just saying the idea that Bill Clinton was somehow black and everybody in the press has been parroting this for 10 years.
Well, you know what? That's the over-the-top way to explain it. He had great chemistry with the black community.
He did, but it's ironic because if you look back at it, Bill Clinton has always been, his strategy while he was president, he was always to the right of the African Americans, particularly members of the Congressional Black Caucus, but African Americans were bedazzled by him. There was Lonnie Guinier. The African American population forgot about it. A lot of members of the Congressional Black Caucus disagreed with him on welfare reform. Well, he signed that bill anyway. There was the infamous Sister Souljah moment, but African Americans have stood by him through thick and thin, and I would assume that any black Democrat right now has just said, we're finished with this.
How about that retarded guy he executed on the way to the White House? Never forgot that, baby, when he went back home and executed the guy who had no mental capacity. And that's a liberal, or that's a Democrat?
Took time out from his busy schedule to go have the guy killed. No, I mean, that's absolutely right. And I have to say, I mean, Bill Clinton has a very long history of playing the race card, just in the other direction. But he has implied time and again that his opponents are motivated by racism. And even when they weren't, when it was clearly demonstrably unfair, he has said it.
Well, he did stand up for affirmative action in principle. I must say that.
Okay, but that's
a lot of other people would have buckled.
No, but but in so doing, he implied that people who were against affirmative action were against it because they didn't like black people. And that's an outrageous thing to say. That's just not fair.
Okay, let's listen to Senator Obama today. His reaction today to what Congressman Clyburn told the New York Times.
I never believe in irreparable breaches. I'm a big believer in reconciliation and redemption. So look, this has been a fierce contest. I am confident, I've said repeatedly, that come August, there are going to be a whole bunch of people standing on the stage with a lot of balloons and stuff, confetti raining down on the head of the Democratic nominee, and people are going to be excited about taking on John McCain in November.
Well, I think the question, let's ask a real political question, Tucker Carlson here. Is there going to be a dream ticket of these two? After all this mud?
If she were to get the nomination, I think she would be obliged to ask him, and I think that she would.
Explain.
Well, because, I mean, he holds the key to a constituency without which she cannot be elected, and that is black voters. And
how can she win the nomination, even if she has his backing, if she gets it without the elected delegates?
Because she can win the popular vote. And I really, because look, the truth is he can't get enough elected delegates himself, pledged delegates himself. Neither one can. So she can make the argument that the popular vote is what matters.
And counting Michigan and Florida.
That is exactly right. And she actually has a better argument. I'm far from endorsing her. I'm just saying, rhetorically, she's got a better argument. Let the people speak. Let their voice be heard. Like, that's a Democratic argument. And I'm just saying, if she were to get it.
The only problem with that, I agree with you about Florida potentially, but Michigan, the other candidates didn't have their name on the ballot.
Well, but her argument is we will pay for a real election, one in which everyone gets to vote.
You know, I proposed last night, and I'm not exactly a party kingmaker, but I said, look, Barack ought to do the Clintons and say, apart from all this bad language back and forth, just say, look, tell me what you think it is. You know, I will get all my supporters to back a new vote in